we're totally ready.
Yeah.
We get our shit together. Oh yeah. You guys got your shit together? Because I'm still getting mine together.
Fuck no. Most of my shit is the opposite of together.
Maybe.
I made dinner at like 5:30, thinking it was 6:30.
I haven't made dinner yet.
6:30.
Yeah. I mean, if we had abolished daylight savings times before before it started, it would be 6:30.
I think we're still gonna go through one more change if it passes, or if it did already pass. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not till 2023.
So would we end daylight savings time permanently?
No.
This
We'll
year?
go through one more change, and then
That's it?
that's it. Oh, two more changes technically, right?
I can't wait to go through the big change.
So we're gonna stay permanently in daylight savings time.
We get to enjoy it one last time.
Bullshit.
Washington's coming.
Dude, I wish it was 17 something, okay? My biggest worry is that guy talking smack about me.
He's talking shit about you?
Duel him.
Yeah. Duel his ass. Kill his Pokemon. Stalk them in the grass.
Yeah, just like murder somebody's Pokemon right in front of him.
Yeah. It's essentially slavery with steps. That's what Norma's been saying every single time I play.
I said that to you with confidence.
I'm sorry.
Don't come for me, Poke fandom, okay?
It's okay. She's a fan too. I got you.
Well, some of like the newer ones, they your Pokemon are your partners, not you don't own them anymore.
Yeah. That's what I said.
No, like first gen, you're like, nah,
No partners.
these are
you
mine.
only
I'm
battle.
selling them.
Yeah.
Now it's we're partners. We're life partners.
It slowly became PC before it knew it had to be PC.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
You used to have your first Pokemon you caught in Pokemon Go.
Yeah? I never forgot him.
Did he? Hell no. Traded his ass a long time ago.
Yeah, fuck the Pidgey. Let's see, where's my Pokemon Go? Hand hurts.
I like when I climb in, they're like, you can't go any further. You don't control me, game. But let me go further. Yep, we're some typical millennials just playing little Pokemon, waiting to start a stream online.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what we do. Oh, it's still loading. Yeah, I haven't even checked
Yeah,
around here
loading.
to see if there's like a Pokestop or anything. There was at our old place that we could reach from like anywhere in the house. And the
That's
gym.
nice.
Yeah, but we don't live there anymore. 'Cause fuck. We didn't utilize it all that often either, so
Okay.
like I would forget about it.
Why is the sun still out? It feels like 9 o'clock at night.
Dude, for real.
It's some bullshit.
It feels so light. And I'm like, sun, go away. I'm at the point where I go to sleep with the sun now. So, like, once the sun goes down, oh, I'm out. I'm asleep. Wherever I am, wherever I am is my bed.
As long as it's vaguely horizontal.
Pretty
Sun-
much.
Sun's on the horizon. Just falls out of a frame. How are we gonna end the podcast?
I'm asleep.
We'll be going forever.
We'll just leave you to sleep like that time you left Kiwi had to sleep in D&D.
Come on, that was funny.
Oh, that was funny.
We tried to wake him up. We called him.
He's passed the fuck out. Alright.
Kiwi head makes the best moments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's only, 6 episodes left in this season. Are y'all excited?
Yeah.
I believe it. 6 episodes.
Right. Woohoo, 69.
Yeah. Puppet's favorite.
Yeah, we're ending on 138. And then,
Alright, so quick question.
yeah, quick answers.
If I told y'all to divide 69 and a half, how do you do it?
69.5? Or what did
That's not it.
I mean, I would do like long division in my head.
I don't understand the
Yeah.
question.
Or I'd be
2
like,
goes into
okay.
6 3 times. 2 goes into 9 4 times. So
That's so
34.5.
Or sometimes if it's like a really difficult number, I'll be like, well, this times this is that. So if I add whatever more, that's how I get to the answer.
Yeah. So, like, 34 times 2 is 38. So there you go.
68.
34 and a half is half of 69. I always have the
Math
multiply.
hard, okay.
I can't
I always-
math on a daily basis, so.
I always do better when I multiply something, so it's so weird.
I don't know,
Like
man.
with-
I didn't understand the question. I'm still very confused. What am I dividing?
I pull out a
69 by
calculator.
2.
We have a literal computer in our pockets at all times.
Guys, just hit the Windows
My
key and
8th
type
grade teacher
calc.
lied to me.
All right, let's test this.
All right,
Who's gonna use a calculator?
me.
Okay, Alan's gonna use a calculator. Puddle's gonna do it in her head. Ready,
'Kay.
set. What is 108 divided by 2?
54.
54.
4, yeah, I knew that one.
I had to write out 108 so I could be like, okay, 2 goes into 10.
I didn't even type that in. I knew that one. I'll be honest with you.
See, I would literally say, well, 50 is half of 100, and 4 is half of 8, so 54.
It's a pretty smart way to get there. Pretty,
Oh, it's
like,
It's so backwards, though.
it's like those teachers are like, show your work. And
No.
you don't do it the way that they want it done. You're like, but I got the right answer, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, me and those teachers didn't get along.
I just always put in my stuff. I always write it down.
It is the same way. His teachers always complain that he doesn't show his work, but like he'll do it in his head, probably similar to how you do it, and then
Yeah.
he'll write down his answer.
I get after him too, like, hey,
It's like,
I know you know how to get there, but you gotta prove to everyone else you know how to get there. Sylvie.
But why do I need to prove it to everybody else? I got there. They need to catch up to me.
Right, that's some bullshit.
I guess that's why I was never a school person, right? Because school's all about conforming and meeting the status quo. And I'm all about bucking the status quo.
And on that note, ready to start? Fucking the status quo.
So, Puzzle's gonna go first, and then Sylvie's gonna go, and then Peach, and then me, then Norma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready, Sylvie?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
we got away from.
Getting
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
You gotta give me a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Take it.
Okay.
It smells
Okay.
different in here.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't worry, I'll just flop. When I flop, you know.
He's gone. All right, he's ready.
The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the Naked Podcast.
Sylvie is my spirit animal. That is all. Hey guys, it's Keelan.
Should I wait for Sylvie to go, or should I just go?
Meow, Peach.
It's your DM Tech at Alan.
I can say dishonor on you, dishonor on your cat, dishonor on your whole family.
But my whole family.
It's almost fiesta in San Antonio, but this girl's ready for a siesta. It's NJ, guys.
I don't know. Like everybody I've talked to today about that too has just been like, for some reason, just the energy has been drained from me. It's like the Matrix needed extra power today.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what it is. The backup batteries on the Matrix failed, so now they're draining us for our life supply.
It has to be allergies.
I kept trying to figure out why we had a Friday off, like the Friday before Good Friday, and finally learned. Beginning of fiesta.
Got all the flowers, right? Yeah.
Is that
Have you ever gone to the parade?
Mm-mm.
is that the
I've only
8th?
ever been to one fiesta event, and that was the oyster bake like 5-6 years ago.
That's the one I've never been to, actually.
I've never been to any fiesta event. I have one badge from Planet Fitness, and that's it.
I know.
NJ, step up.
I know the San Antonio River Parade removed the Russian float from their parade route. Now it's like
Good.
in support of the Ukraine people. I read that in the San Antonio Express.
Just think about it. Cancel culture's got so bad, even we canceled a whole country now.
Yeah, fuck that country. They
Hey, I didn't
invaded
say it
another
was right or
country.
wrong. I didn't even say it was right or wrong anyway. Just saying. Hey,
Fuck that country.
you never thought it would be possible to cancel a country.
Right.
Gotta cancel China tax.
And, hey, wait, we're offline. Oh
See-
shit, what happened?
See, China is our abusive ex-boyfriend that we just can't get away from.
They just keep showing up at the door with keys to the house after we've changed them. Turns out the locksmith is our best friend. Is that how that works?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
Who we're not keeping out of the house.
Corey.
Ricky.
Corey's in the house.
From I Love Lucy. So a couple of nights ago, we were going through Prime Video and we saw the documentary Lucy and Desi. And then while we were watching it, Crazy was like, "Oh yeah, is this the Nicole Kidman movie?" And I was like, "Wait, there's a movie?"
I don't know
So
that
we naturally had to go back. I think that one's on Hulu, and watch that one. And they were both really interesting because the Nicole Kidman movie, being the Ricardos, kind of focuses on a week of the show, and it has them actually being Lucy and Desi. And then the documentary was like an overlook on their whole lives. beginnings of their stories to their deaths. So what did you guys think?
We watched the first 30 minutes of it, and I was learning so much. Like,
especially about film culture.
Yeah.
You know, like the start of it, especially Desi, like his contributions bringing Latinos to the big screen. That's not in like one stereotype or the other. I thought that was really awesome, and started the Congo line. That was really exciting.
yeah, I didn't know that.
His actual like overall contributions to the world, or like by the end. So name a big show from the 50s or 60s, and he produced it. Like Dick Van Dyke Show,
Wow.
Andy
Griffin Show,
What?
Hogan's Heroes, like
Star Trek.
The original Star Trek was produced by him. Like he made what we know as cable television.
Oh shit! Okay,
We have that because of him. He started the concept of reruns. He started pretty much at one point. He owned the biggest independent studio out of in the world.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's fucking awesome. What a life.
Honestly, and you know, they together with I Love Lucy, and they talk about this in Lucy and Desi, about how their watchers on the East Coast were kind of just getting like ins and outs of the show. So he's like, well, what about if we do it on film?
Mm-hmm.
But Lucille does better in front of a live audience. So why don't we just have both? And then he designed the camera systems that we still use today.
Yeah, I think that's when we stopped watching to come over here. That's fucking badass.
It's just, yeah, it was amazing to see what their company, Deslu, really accomplished and changed the world. I mean, we have TV because of them. We can say that.
Because, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that, like, Lucille Ball in herself is, like, super accomplished. Like, she had to overcome a lot of different, like, obstacles in her way. But she just did roles, and she was kind of like her silly, goofy self. And that is what really stuck out to viewers. And I thought that was amazing, too. And, like, absolute bombshell. She was so beautiful. Like, super beautiful.
It really takes you back in time, right? Like to think about. So when she talks about how she started her career, right? She started as a showgirl, and then she went to radio, and then they made TV, and she was a contract actress for RKO Studio, and so really they just were like, hey, we need a blonde actress at this stage at this time, and she just shows up and does the part. Like there was no issue.
Yeah,
and it's hard to imagine a time like that because normally in this day and age, it's mostly theater troupes that are doing that, like Saturday Night Live, where you just have the cast and you have them fill the different roles. But for our movie and our TV industry, it's everybody's chomping at the bit. They're auditioning. They go through hundreds of thousands of people to find the right person for it. And I think that's one of the other things that really just stood out to me with both of these movies is they show so much of how like 50s TV was happening. You had the live bands, you had the studio audiences. I never even knew, and we see this in Being the Ricardos, that radio shows back then had live studio audiences, and they were recorded or, broadcasted, with everybody there and in front of people.
I didn't know that. That's intense. Honestly, that's a little daunting.
It's like American Bandstand was the same way, but like Lucy, the I Love Lucy show seems like really set the precedent for all that.
Yeah, you think about like compared to what we do right now is just amazing to see what it took for them to get there because yeah, we're producing the same type of product they did, except it took a studio with hundreds of people, and now we're 4 random people in our back room,
I think for older viewer audiences, it definitely brings back the nostalgia, because there are definitely people alive today who remember that. Carol Burnett was being interviewed,
Mhm.
and she was, there, she was in it, she was in the thick of it, and it's hard for like us to imagine, like, oh wow, what a big change, but we've been through some of those big changes ourselves. And then I think it's definitely going to help new generations understand what had to happen in order to get to where we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I didn't know any of this. Going into this, I had never seen... Okay, that's not true. I'd seen bits and clips and pieces of I Love Lucy. I can't say that I've never seen it. But it's
I
still...
grew up with a... Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I grew up with a VHS in the house that had 2 episodes on it. The one where she goes to Italy and stops the grapes, and the Vita Vita God damn it.
You got
Vita
this.
Meta Meta Vegetin girl.
It still blows my mind that Desi never said, "Lucy, I'm home," throughout the entire run of the show.
So we talked about that. He
Mhm.
does say that,
Does he?
but Keelan and I were talking about it. She's like, no, I remember that. What he doesn't say is, Lucy, you got some splaining to do, which I have like a
Oh.
vivid memory of, like him coming in the
Yeah.
door and like,
Yeah.
I, like, expressly remember that. Like, those were the 2 iconic lines of the show. You got some splaining to do. And then, yeah, I'm home. It's just like, I don't know, that's the Bernstein Bears effect, right?
You guys popped out of a
Maybe
different
it's,
universe.
maybe it's he never said, Lucy, I'm home, and he just said, I'm home, or he walked in and said, Lucy. And so it could be, like people remembering, Luke, I am your father, take my strong hand, these lines that we're like, yes, they definitely happened, but no.
the Mandela effect trips me out because I definitely remember take my strong hand. Like, I remember that perfectly.
Same. I remember that. I have vivid memory of that.
Wait, yeah.
Like, that happened.
What is the thing about that? Because I can, like, tell you scene for scene. The guy is hanging out the window. There's lightning behind him. He reaches
I
down
think he
and
says,
"Grab
it's my strong hand.
But yeah.
He
Take
says,
Yeah.
grab my hand. And he
He
says,
said,
no,
"Ooh."
give me the other one. And he's like,
Ooh.
no, this is my strong hand. Grab my strong hand.
I
Yeah.
better use my strong hand.
I don't know, dude.
It's interesting to see how collective memories will mash up things that weren't together.
This is why, like, people going up and speaking on the stand, like, it just doesn't work. Like, people's memories fade over time. And it's not like we're doing it on purpose. It just happens. Like, we misremember shit all the time.
See, I think I Love Lucy was the reason why I always thought married couples on TV were married in real life.
Yeah.
Like, growing up,
Yeah.
And then you saw, like, Malcolm's dad with a different woman. You're like, that's not Malcolm's mom. What the hell?
What were you going to say, NJ?
So see, I actually didn't know that Lucy and Desi were married in real life until watching the doc.
So,
No, yeah. See, Keelan thought that he was gay.
Because,
In real
like,
life.
in the first few lines, she's like, I play this role, he plays a straight man, and then we go on and we pretend. So the way that's phrased, I thought, maybe she was like his beard, and he pretended to be a straight man.
but they were in love.
I mean, the way that's phrased, you're like, wait a minute.
Well,
Wait a
and then
minute.
It also goes on to talk about how he cheated on her with multiple women. So
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't
It
know
didn't get
that.
into it as much as being the Ricardos did.
Yeah.
They kind of alluded to it, but they never said it. So it's really interesting to compare the two.
Spoilers. Anyone who didn't know, spoilers. Desi cheats on Lucy.
I know for sure
Oh,
we're going to
Ricky
be
never
going
does.
back. There's some I Love
Everything,
Lucy
yeah.
episodes on Prime. So that'll be the new watch.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't wait to clip all these scenes and send them to Peach. Be like, see, he says it right here.
Yeah, I'm please at me on Twitter. My tags down here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's reversed.
He-
It's right here.
Definitely had a lot of creative ideas. And then she was definitely a forerunner for a lot of women in the industry, because she was willing to do things that weren't typically done at that time.
She was a boss.
Hell yeah, she was.
Roll up her sleeves to get it too.
So eventually, Desi, his health gets real bad, and he steps away from everything and retires fully, right? And so she buys him out of everything. And the one line that she says is like, "Yeah, that's when they added the S to the end of my name." So it's Lucy's balls,
Lucille Ball.
Lucille Balls, because she was a hard ass when she was the boss.
Yeah.
So yeah, they mentioned something like that about like a radio producer who did like another show, and then all his friends told him don't go work for her because she's really hard to work with. And I was just like, well, is that because she's like gotten to a standard where she like knows what she wants to do, or was she just really hard to work with? So we haven't gotten that far in the doc yet.
Yeah. We literally stopped
no.
at the 30-minute mark, like 30 minutes and some change.
She believed that great actors weren't bought, they were built. So it took time and dedication to become a great actor.
He did the damn thing.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, look at everything that's happened in like the past 2 years. Several people have found their strengths just by working at home.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
For creativity.
Russell Brand's podcasts are what everyone needs now. Who would have think the guy that banged Katy Perry would be giving you your news updates?
I need to go watch the new one that you sent, but I have a little update for y'all on a specific little hacker group. If you give me a few minutes of your time.
What are these?
No.
No.
Everyone's like,
I promise this will be quick.
What are you?
So,
well, that was a nice moment, everybody. So what's going on?
Jesus Christ. So, we've talked about LAPSUS before on this podcast. I'm incorrectly called them LAPSUS $. That is not the case. So LAPSUS has been in the news recently due to multiple hacks that they've done. They've hacked Microsoft. They've hacked OKTA, which is a security key group. They've hacked NVIDIA. I can't even tell you whom else they hacked. Quick update. Oh, actually, a question for y'all. How much do you think they've been paid out so far by these companies?
$1 billion.
Mm-mm. Try again.
Nothing. I don't know. Keelan had it right.
Yeah, none of these companies have paid them a single fucking dime. They've
Nice.
released everything from Microsoft. They've released source code to Cortana, as well as some source code to the Xbox Live connection information. Microsoft has since then fixed Xbox Live. I'm not sure about Cortana. For OKTA, they've released... I actually don't know what they've released from OKTA yet. But I know that they've made quite a bit of money selling that data on the black market. From NVIDIA, they released hundreds of megabytes of source code for each video card, including maybe possibly a workaround to the low hash rate issue that NVIDIA cards have. But
Only a matter of time.
yeah, but I got one last question for y'all. How old do you think the guy running LAPSUS is?
16.
13.
13, 16, Keelan.
36.
Oh yeah, you're muted.
19.
19. Okay.
Like I'm yelling it.
He is a 16-year-old British boy
Nice.
from the United Kingdoms. According to sources, he's made billions of dollars by just performing these hacks with other hackers. And the United Kingdom's government can't do anything about it because he's 16. He's a minor.
Can we get him on Circle of Jerks?
Turn his internet off.
I mean, yeah, they could, yeah. As far as any charges, they can't really charge him because he is a minor. They could shut his internet off. Maybe we can get him on Circle of Jerks. Shout out. You want to be on a podcast and talk about your hacks? Come talk to us. But
how do we get him canceled like Russia?
Canceled like Russia?
Yeah, just like cancel a person.
Just
we cancel a country. Let's cancel a person.
Oh my god.
So in the U.S., if your crime is egregious enough and you're close to of age, you can't be tried to like as an adult. So does like they don't have those laws there?
They don't. They can't necessarily charge him for anything, only because he's a minor. Any other charges that they're gonna bring up, it's gonna take some time for them to do it. And it's gonna have to go through the House of Commons, I believe.
Yeah, but then again, can't they go after his parents for racketeering on extortion?
I mean, they probably didn't know any of it.
Well, but so that's the thing. If you buy the internet and you buy the computer and you give the child access to it, are you not somewhat liable for what they do with it?
I mean, kind of, but I'm not sure if that would work that way. Because it's not like they're providing it to him so that he can hack companies and people and states and organizations, you know?
Yeah, but then again, like, if your kid is hacking Microsoft's headquarters, like, you don't think Microsoft would call and say, hey, tell your kid to knock this off?
Go give your kid a smack in the top of the head. I mean, theoretically, I would. Like, if our kiddo was hacking someone, I'd hope that company would call and be like, hey, your kid's hacking. Tell them to stop. I'd tear all that shit out of there in a heartbeat.
Like, wait, how much money did you make first?
It's okay.
We gotta hide it.
Yeah. We can hide it in Bitcoin. I know a guy. Okay, I know a guy who can hide it in Bitcoin. It's your Theo. No, yeah, this guy's made a lot of fucking money, and I bet you anything he's gonna have a really, really rich and prosperous internet security job somewhere. Like that's all these guys go to. Like hackers that have been caught that either end up working for governments or they make millions on by themselves.
Yeah, by like holding a pipeline hostage.
Oh, I forgot. Did they do that hack? Was that LAPSUS?
No.
Okay.
No, that was Dark Side.
That was Dark Side. I was like, shit, was that LAPSUS? I didn't list that. My bad, guys.
I remember it because it was a really cool name. I was like, ooh.
So what do you guys think of this? What do you think of the 16-year-old hacker from the United Kingdoms?
Anything is possible.
Go him.
We have a new king.
Just 2 years of pandemic work. That's what it went to, man.
I mean, if nothing else, the government's gonna have a few years to build the case against him.
Like, yeah, so that's the thing. The day he turns 18, is he gonna stop hacking forever? Because he's clearly made it onto a watch list, right? Like, they know who he is and they're watching him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I were in charge of the government that he's in, I would make sure that he didn't have a computer, he didn't have internet access. Keep that kid off of everything for now.
This kid's over there hacking Microsoft off Samsung fridges. Okay, you can't stop him.
Do you remember that announcement about the Samsung trucks that were going to have a view of what's in front of the truck? It's because of that kid that they're playing porn now.
Yeah. I mean, humans are disgusting, so you give them a way to watch porn, they will work it.
Yeah.
Like the chick who kept getting her electronics taken away from her to the point where she was tweeting from her fridge.
And then her, like, was it her 3DS?
A fucking 3DS.
Yeah. Her mom kept, like, citing it and making updates, like, apparently we can't have, like, any electronics around this kid. She'll figure out how to make it onto Twitter.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's
If you go pack up and like go down to the public library to use Twitter, then you're an addict. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the line.
That's the line.
If you go to the public library to use a computer, it's dire circumstances.
What if you need to use a computer? Like, genuinely. Like,
I mean, Pam and Tommy did use it to look for their
Sex
tape website.
Oh my god.
But also, there's weren't like computers in everyone's hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me that the Matrix isn't real when we all are connected like 24/7 right here in a virtual world.
Hold on.
We live in a virtual world.
My watch
Just
says.
wait till we turn into Ready Player One.
My watch says it's 8:10,
Metaverse?
so yes. That's
It's
essentially
surprising
what it
to me.
is. Mhm.
It's surprising to me that he can't be charged. Like, I feel like there has to be some way, because in our next topic, 2 16-year-old boys were charged for murder and sentenced to life in prison. So, like, is there a line? Like, is it like murder is the line and like hacking is down here, like embezzling money from?
I mean, yeah. These companies
Extortion.
have already made like record profits this year. Let the kid get away with it. Like, okay, fine. Slap him on the wrist and fine him $1,000.
Really hurt. I guess it's more of like a victimless crime in a way.
I mean, yeah.
No, we're the victims in the overall because we're the product users and they just charge more for their shit now.
So the good thing about LAPSUS is that they never released user data. They were only releasing proprietary software information that belongs to these companies.
So clearly he's part of the free the code movement.
I mean, could be. But going on to the other 2 16-year-olds that were charged with murder, NJ.
So in 2007, I don't know if you guys remember this case. In England, this girl, Sophie Lancaster, and her boyfriend, Robert Martley, they were walking in a park and they got savagely attacked by a group of teenagers, like from like 15 to like 17 years old. They were about like 20, 21 years old. And the reason why they got attacked was because they were dressed like goth kids. And when I say savagely attacked, like they were, the girl's head, Sophie's head, she was cradling her boyfriend to protect him, and they were kicking her and stomping on her head.
Oh my god.
She spent 13 days in a coma, and then finally they're like, no, she's brain dead. She's not going to make it. She was taking off life support. The same day that she passed away was when her boyfriend was discharged from the hospital. He had absolute memory loss. He was in a coma himself. He had sustained several injuries that took him so long to recover from. So the reason why I bring this up, since this happened in 2007, so one of the attackers, his name's Ryan Herbert, he was 16 years old. And he is now being freed from prison on parole. He was sentenced to life in prison. I just struggle with that so hard. Because prison is supposed to rehabilitate a person, right?
Mhm.
But how can you be rehabilitated from like savagely beating 2 people unprovoked?
Yeah, because you're not somebody that's going to perform an act and that is not fully there mentally. Like they have some kind of mental illness or something wired wrong in their head that thinks it's okay to pretty much beat somebody to death in the park just because they were wearing different clothing than you. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no.
Why would they
this-
be out of prison?
Yeah, this is clearly a oh my god, I can't think of the word that I want to use, but yeah, like this is a targeted attack. Like they're both goth, and they were dressed goth-like. Like no, you
Yeah. So
I
Herbert is now 30 years old, and his parole officer like signed off on him being released, saying that he made significant changes. In 2017, he did an interview where he showed remorse and was like, "I can't believe that, this is what I did." But in the span that he's been in jail, the last 15 years, he has received a degree. He has held a job like on temporary release and positive feedback from his supervisor. But Sophie didn't get that choice.
mm-hmm.
She was about to go to art school, and her whole life was cut short because this mob attacked her and her boyfriend just because they're dressed differently. Like,
So,
I don't know.
So he did his 15 years.
He did 15 years. He was sentenced to life.
16.
Okay, so I would say
Mm.
15 years is a little different. Hopefully, you can be rehabilitated in that period. Because
Mhm.
if you can't be rehabilitated in that period, then why are you in jail, right? Like, not to advocate for the death penalty, but again, like that's not a life in the first place, right?
Right.
He's sitting in a jail, just getting angrier and meaner.
Yeah,
That's like what I struggle with. The whole purpose of prison is to rehabilitate the criminal into a productive member of society. Like, should he have that choice? And then the other part of me is just like the amount of damage that he did. Like, he kicked her and stomped on her head. Like, and bragged about it. Like, that's not something that, I don't know. Like, that can somebody be rehabilitated? So her mother actually started the Sophie Lancaster Foundation that advocates for, like people finding justice for their families.
Mhm.
And her mother's just like, you would have to hope at this point that he's rehabilitated. I don't know. That's crazy. And then everybody knows his name now. So, like, will he be able to get a job or live a normal life?
Yeah, because then you
Did-
have all those weird people who are like super into murderers and things like that. Mm,
Yeah, those people creep me out.
yeah.
And to think about
What were we saying?
to think about too is, he was 16, he was with his buddies. I wonder if there was like a peer pressure situation. Like, I know they bragged about it early on, but 16, your brain is all sorts of messed up. And then to find enjoyment in that, it just really shows how wrong wired he was. And I don't know.
Maybe not ill-wired, but maybe just not prepared for the situation that he was in.
I think
I
I'd
mean,
have to know
everybody
more
makes
about
dumb
the
mistakes,
trial for
right?
that.
But this is a little past a dumb mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
This isn't taking a joyride in your parents' car and like knocking over some mailboxes. Like, this is
Yeah.
straight up murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But again, if we can't trust the system to rehabilitate people in 15 years, then what is the system doing in the first place?
Making
Just
money.
keeping people out of our view, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of similar to what we
that.
talked about recently, like the two girls that were involved in the Slender Man killings way
Mhm.
back when. Like, one of them was getting released. So it's the same. You're just like, wow, that was really dark and twisted and crazy. But theirs was more like premeditated and like a spur of the moment type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So I think he's actually already out. So that's been kind of like the uproar for Sophie, and I've been reading like a lot of different opinions and definitely things that you guys have echoed. Like that's a really fucked up thing to do, but he has spent 15 years in prison. Can he be a member of society? Yes, go ahead.
I hope that he can, like, for his sake and for everyone else's. Anyone that kills someone, goes to prison, and is expected to be released or is looking to be released. I hope that they did find the hope that they get. Everyone deserves a second chance, is my personal belief. But at what point do you draw the line where you shouldn't be given a second chance? But I do hope that he found the help that he needs, got counseling, better brain on his shoulders. So what's up, Ethan?
I think that's a big fundamental question, though, about our justice system, right? Like, we want to move towards a justice system where we don't have a death penalty, but is removing the death penalty actually beneficial?
In some places,
because,
yeah.
well, like I'm saying, like Ted Bundy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could probably all agree that it was a justified outcome, right? But like this kid here in the United States, he could have faced the death penalty, right? Like it could have been possible. But then again, if you're going to go spend 20, 30 years in prison, what kind of life is that really? You just being, it's like putting them in a zoo. Except people can't come.
I was about to say that.
Only during visiting hours.
Visiting hours, yeah.
Don't feed them.
You
don't feed them. Don't touch them either. They're dangerous.
But they're people too. So like that's the other part of it. These are like human. I don't know. I go back and forth with death penalty. I do think that there's certain types of people that cannot be rehabilitated, like pedophiles, or people
Mass
who do
murderers.
egregious crimes like Ted Bundy. But then again, it's just like there are so many people who are sentenced to death and that were actually innocent. Like we have projects like the Texas Innocence Project and all these other things that debunk junk science at the time.
Or the Central Park Five, who were illegally detained, arrested, questioned,
and interviewed.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to read. So on the 10th anniversary in 2017, Robert Maltby, the boyfriend, gave an interview and was in a documentary called Murdered for Being Different. Or is Robert the one that got released?
Robert Herbert is the one who got released. Robert Maltley is her boyfriend.
Okay. So yeah, he was...
It's the UK, everybody's Robert.
So it'd be interesting to go and see this documentary, and see his perception of everything.
Yeah, she basically died protecting him. Like that's crazy.
That's true love right there.
Die right there.
Yeah.
Looks like it's on Prime.
We
and
know
then
what
too,
we'll
like
talk about next week.
I mean, like, and then you have trial by media, right? So like social media is a lot more prevalent now. So like even if he is released now, like I don't know what kind of quality of life you have or like what kind of like people harassment, towards him or whatever the case may be. Because I mean, you look at other things in our media, like the Oscars last night, for example, it turned into a huge controversy.
Oh my God.
I was gonna ask, are y'all ready for the drama corner?
I want you to know that I had to shorten the title.
Drama?
So while Peach pours him a glass of wine, we'll start. We'll get into the drama.
Okay, I'm pouring a glass of wine. Oh, wait. I'll be right back.
It was just a joke.
But
so last night was the Oscars. And I know everybody remembered last year's Oscars weren't really memorable, but the year before, Everybody sure does remember that one, right? Ricky Gervais just unleashed. And so the Oscars were pretty boring, pretty, run of the mill
Nobody cared.
until yeah, nobody cared until Chris Rock got up on stage and he said, "Hey, look, Jada Pinkett Smith's here today. Can't wait to see her in the next G.I. Jane 2 movie." And that was his joke. And Will Smith took offense to it, walked up on stage on live TV, and smacked Chris Rock across the face.
Chris Rock took it like in stride, though.
It was such a fucking Chris Rock response.
Yeah.
Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me.
So it's been drama, and everyone's been going back and forth today. And so the big question is, do y'all think it was chivalrous what Will Smith did, or was Will Smith acting like a little bitch?
I don't think it was chivalrous at all. You don't put your hands on anybody.
Absolutely not. I think he needs to go back to Bel Air and spend some time with his auntie and uncle.
I think Chris Rock's joke was tasteless, especially because Jada Pinkett has been really vocal about her alopecia and her hair loss, and to make her butt of a joke seems kind of like insensitive. But like, at what point have comedians ever held back when it comes to making somebody a butt of a joke, whether it's the president of the United States or an actor or actress in Hollywood, or even their own family? So it's kind of like, the joke was like for me, it didn't land. But for Will Smith to have that reaction is not okay. Like, you don't assault somebody. Like, words hurt, yes, but a slap actually does hurt.
Especially after Will Smith laughed at the joke. So I think when it all comes back to it, it was the best Chris Rock joke, right? I'm not a big Chris Rock fan anyway. But on the other end, it wasn't really that mean of a joke. Like, yeah, she might have a hair condition, but he wasn't saying it in a derogatory way, right? Like, I guess I would look at it as Demi Moore and G.I. Jane is like a badass, right? So to be compared to that, I don't think would be an insult overall.
Yeah.
But also, it is well known that if you sit in the front area of the Oscars, you're usually, mentioned in the jokes because that's who they see, right? So I think all around, Chris Rock should have been a little more sensitive. But again, he's a comedian making jokes, and you can't act like a child.
Often are those jokes about other comedians not geared towards the disease that's happening on the actor, actress, or famous person. If it had been something about a role they played or a choice that they had made, cool, makes sense.
Yeah, like
Lady Gaga. But because it was a disease that was affecting her,
Yeah. Like, I'm certain if anyone.
But then again, I never knew about it, so I can't assume Chris Rock knew about it. To assume that he was well informed is, just short-sighted.
I mean, isn't that also part of being a comedian? Is making sure you know what you're joking about and being informed?
Yeah, I could argue for that, and I could also argue like maybe he just didn't know. Like, I didn't know about her medical condition. I think I may have forgotten it completely actually until the whole thing happened last night.
Like, she's always had really short hair, so and the few times she's had long hair, it's either a weave or a wig of some sort. It's not really her hair. When you see her naturally, she always had a very short cut. So going bald's not that too out of the question. From
things in the Smith family, though, have been really rocky over the last couple of years. So I think like we're seeing the break of Will Smith. Like, he had the entanglement thing happened.
So there's multiple conspiracy theories going around, and that plays into one of them. That Jada is a very abusive member. So she, out of the relationship, she's the abusive party, and Will Smith has always been emotionally broken by her, and a lot of that plays into because of the entanglement, right? Like the way she treated and handled it was a total disregard and very disrespectful to him.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then there's the other theory is that it was all staged for publicity.
I've
I
also
hope
heard
not.
that.
Yeah, I've heard that. I hope that's not the case.
I wouldn't put it past Hollywood though.
But also, like, why would he go from laughing about the joke to going up and smacking Chris Rock in the face, like, in an instant?
He saw the way she reacted to it.
Yeah. Or, like, it's just kind of the grin and bear it, right? Like, I have this expectation, and he saw her face, and maybe the home problem that I mixed in, and it flipped a switch in him. I mean, like, that's crazy. Can you imagine being in the audience? Because there was more after he slapped, like, after the broadcast cut. He said, like, keep my wife's name out of your blah, blah mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know there was one person Will Smith wanted to slap and he couldn't, so he went for Chris Rock, okay?
August.
Was that the guy's name?
I think so.
Mr. Entanglement is just what I call him.
Fucking
But-
August.
Even then, like I said earlier, I was just waiting for Chris, because Chris Rock has always been really edgy, right? Like he's known to be an edgy comedian. So to see him react is what I think made it natural, because he was just like, oh fuck, like what do I do on live TV? Where if it was staged, I think he would have been a little more aggressive, a little more comfortable responding.
Yeah.
But then again, what kind of man walks up and slaps another man like that? Like, if you got a problem, throw hands. Don't slap. like
Tussle.
you're-
Throw hands
Wrestle him.
privately. Wrestle.
Wrestle. But even
So-
then, like, that's like, even if you didn't appreciate it, like, a mature adult would be like, hey, like, I found this insensitive. I really appreciate it if you don't do this again. And then the other person can be an asshole or not. But there was a mature
So-
way to handle that.
In this story, Puzzled is Team Will. So let's hear it out.
No, I mean, the joke was tasteless. I think the slap was, an overreaction. But, they've had their troubles, and he wanted to show his support of her. So I see why he would go up there and do it. Small town in East Texas coming from, you dishonor my woman, you're going to get your ass beat. So I see it, and I appreciate it. I think, he probably should have, waited till they were both off screen and then, thrown hands. But I don't think it was everybody's like, oh, he's a chump. Oh, he's a cuck. Oh, he's a simp. Like, I don't see it that way. I see him as trying to, I guess, kind of respect the relationship that he has. And he's like, I'm going to defend my woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the cut comments are coming because his son's friend banged his wife, and then she told him on national TV, and he cried and then stuck by her side, and now he's acting like this. So, I mean,
they
can see
have an
that.
open relationship. They've had an open relationship for years. So that coming out on live TV probably hurt a lot more than it would have normally, just because, oh, we're in private, we can talk about this. But no, you're telling me this on national TV. People don't
Everyone
need to know our
knows,
business. What we have is private and intimate, and this is ruining that completely.
Just like we had talked about Kanye West, our last episode, like mental illness in men, like with Will Smith, like he cried and he became a meme. Like that sucks. Like his feelings were not being validated. Like if it was, I feel like if that was the roles were reversed and it was Jada in his seat, he would have totally been hung out to dry, right? For I guess being so insensitive to her feelings, and instead he becomes a meme and a joke. And to me, it's like if you're in an abusive relationship, like even just like domestic violence in general, it looks so different. It could be emotional, it could be physical, and it seems like that's what's happened. And he has kind of like this victim, mentality going on where he feels like he has to do something so dramatic like that. Like, I can understand it. It just doesn't make it right to me, like.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, how many years was the way Will Smith treated her was like the pinnacle that everybody looked up to, right?
Yeah,
like,
there's like pictures of him on the red carpet, like this, like
Yeah,
this is my
exactly.
wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't even
you've
know who
never
Jada
seen
Pinkett Smith
her-
until Magic Mike XL.
She's in a lot of movies for that. But before that, like, you've never seen her respond in any way kind to him. Like, the few responses you do see in public are always her being very negative or rude or,
Sure.
entanglement. Yeah. And it's like you see that he publicly loves her to death, but I don't think she returns that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Will. Poor Chris Rock too. Like, I feel bad for him.
He took
Yeah.
it like a champ, though.
He did. And that comment afterwards was like peak Chris Rock for me. Because, like, I used to love Chris. I love Down to Earth and Head of State are two of my favorite Chris Rock movies.
What did he say afterwards?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Holy shit,
Will
Will Smith slapped the shit out of me.
Yeah, but that was, I guess that was the most confusing part to me, right? Because you see Will Smith laughing at the joke, gets up, slaps Chris Rock, sits down, starts yelling, cussing at him, and then when they show him back, he's crying later on. So it's like Will Smith's on an emotional roller coaster right now, and that doesn't sound healthy.
Yeah.
Like that many emotions in that short a span.
Who got up to console him? It was Tyler Perry and one other. I can't remember the other person, but it made sense to me because I was just like, okay, Tyler Perry. Like, I could see him coming at it from like an angle of like, I get you. You need to calm down. Like, because like a lot of his like media is about like doing the right thing with God, except for Medea's boo.
Well, and then there was other stories going around that Will and Chris have had multiple confrontations over the last couple of years, and like they don't get along very well on a personal level. And then there was also rumors that maybe Chris banged Jada, so
that'll do.
that was some more hot gossip because like they've been seen out together. And so there's other feelings coming up. So
I hope Will gets the help he needs. Cause like I remember like Wild West and early Bad Boys. Like I loved Will Smith a lot. Like he's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But like the last 5-10 years, it's been really hard for him.
I think his just between his kids and his wife, they're just all over the place. Like Jaden, what's going on with that guy? I thought he was a movie star, and then he was a singer,
And then he was
now he's
giving
a
out,
fashion icon.
or he was donating water bottles and creating a water company for people in Flint and selling stuff on the shelves. I think Willow just released a new song.
Badass. I like your music.
Willow's "Wait a Minute" song, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
What about
Whip
the
my
one
hair
where she
back and
whips her?
forth is my
Yeah,
favorite.
that one.
My kids had never heard of it because I was like, I whip my hair back and forth. And they're like, Miss Taylor, you're weird.
Ouch.
What? Damn.
Fuck these kids.
I was like, go to YouTube
Pretty
and look it
much.
up.
It's like my lip gloss is popping. They won't get that one. That was Lil Mama though.
How? Never mind.
Have you guys seen Lizzo's big new show?
Big girls.
Big
I haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, not yet.
I jam Lizzo.
I'm so like old now because I won't listen to any of the pop music.
Oh my gosh, some of the people on the Oscars, because I like to look at the best dressed, and a lot of people I follow on Instagram are like obsessed with the fashion. So I go through and I'm like, who are these people? Like, I have no idea. Like, where's Cameron Diaz?
They're all retired with their kids at home.
Watching the Oscars.
Like, damn.
And thinking, I could be there. Instead, I'm here.
It's gonna go down in history. Like, what was it? Madonna's kiss with
No, well, yeah. So it was Madonna or Janet Jackson's nipple slip.
Mm-hmm.
Madonna, Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Kissed both of them on stage.
That's true.
Then
Forgot about that actually.
But is this gonna be the like? Is this the like death of the Oscars? Right, like Ricky Gervais was the start of it, and now it's just celebrity death match with golden statues at the end.
Honestly, every single year we get to this, we talk about the Oscars, and we're like, yeah, this is the death of the Oscars. Like, the Oscars died a horrible death a few years ago. This is just the ghost of the shell.
Yeah,
that's left behind.
When Leo got his Oscar, I think that was the last one that mattered to anybody.
Yeah.
Finally. But it was for the movie. Like, I feel like he didn't really deserve it for. Like, I think he did. Okay, I just want to say that. He absolutely did.
Yeah.
But there were so many other movies he deserved.
Django Unchained was the one he definitely deserved it for.
Mm-hmm.
Reading or watching the commentary on his performance, he absolutely did.
It's garbage. It's like they didn't like him. They didn't let him have it on purpose.
So one big question that everyone's been asking today is, do y'all think anyone should press charges against Will Smith over this?
If anybody, it would be Chris Rock. But like, personally, it's just like, let's just bury the lead.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, we watched a physical assault on national television. I don't think that should go totally unpunished.
Where was the
like
LAPD? That's some terrible response time.
Isn't the Academy considering taking away his Oscar that he won that night?
Yeah, it's right after he got Best Actor.
Well, it sucks to be Will Smith right now. Oh my god.
That's what I said. Even if it's like a misdemeanor assault charge, I think they can't let him go scot-free. It just shows he's untouchable.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, if you were to slap anybody on the street, they can definitely press charges against your ass.
Yeah, think about it. If I walked up and slapped Alan and then we posted it and it went viral, you know somebody'd be at my door. Hate crime, this, that.
Hate crime. I wouldn't claim a hate crime.
There is
You
a
wouldn't.
video of Alan. It was consensual, okay?
It was consensual.
Oh, let's do this video on peachesonlyfans.com.
Hey, it's onlybands.com now. Everyone's banned, unless if you subscribe.
They said only bands, like bands on those hundies.
Yeah. Subscriptions start at $99.99.
So for $100, you can see Peach get slapped consensually.
Yes. And also, maybe drink this beer. Who are you reviewing this week, Ethan?
How do I pronounce it properly? Lustrious?
Lustrious. We're interviewing Lunarius.
But I want to interview Illustrious. That's my favorite band. Because Scotty doesn't know.
Doesn't know that Fiona and me.
Do it in the stream every Monday.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. You're right.
Again, you can find all this wonderful content at
officialmillennials.com/peach.
No,
officialmillennials.com.
I'm going to make a webpage. It's officialmillennials.com/fans. and it's just gonna have like tech tips.
Yeah. Please turn off your computer at night if you want. If you want your hard drives to last as long as you want, turn it off.
That one was for free. The rest
Yeah.
will charge you money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're interviewing Linarius this week. We're super excited. She's a friend of the Shady Squad, the Shady Joker crew, the Asylum.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They're insane.
Yeah, fucking crazy, man. She's also ADHD, so representation
Whoop, whoop.
for ADHD.
I'm not ADHD enough for you.
You are. Well, there's 3 of us that are ADHD here, possibly 4.
I don't
We're just
claim that
entirely-
energy.
We're just higher evolved, okay? That's all it is.
This is tired and old.
She's tired. Yeah, she's tired and old, like Bob's Burgers. What else? What else we got going on this week? Ethan, your producer of the week.
Not much. If I remember, hold on, let me pull up the announcement because I was not prepared for this at all.
D&D.
D&D.
I know we do have D&D Saturday, but I was double checking if we had anything before that so I can go chronological order. So, no, we don't have anything the rest of the week. We have a stream Wednesday.
Woo!
And then we're going to have the gang back together for D&D in the Discord.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody dies, but we'll find out.
Guess you'll have to stay tuned.
We're getting
I'm
close.
totally waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for Puzzle to just lose it and end somebody.
Just fucking TPK it.
We'll see what happens because I did offer twice restrooms and they were denied. Nah, we got this. Nah, we good.
I'm at 2 health. It's okay. I don't need it yet.
I'm fine. 'Tis but a scratch.
Tis a flesh wound.
So I can tell you, last time I played Curse of Estrad, when I rolled out of that door, I was at 1 HP.
Oh fuck.
And then, yeah. And so the thing I did was I took the hardened feat, so it like doubled my HP. I was like, yes.
Nice. All right. I'll go ahead and roll the outro as soon as it pauses.
Don't forget that
Well, that
Friday
wraps
is
up another
April
great-
Fools. Don't get tricked.
Oh.
You right?
Yeah, good. April Fool's Friday.
I said Friday's April Fools. Don't get tricked.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's not pregnant Friday. Just ignore that.
If you're someone who pulls that as a joke, you're an awful person.
Oh my god. That. Anyway, here's the outro.
On that note,
Well, that wraps up another great episode. And don't forget to join our amazing and supportive community on Discord.
In our Discord, you can find game nights, watch parties, food pics, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. What's not to love about that? We have a little something for everyone. Head over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find more info, especially our featured gamer of the week.
Speaking of something for everyone, we have a book club. We read a book almost every month and talk through it together. We also have a special perk for our subs to discuss other books in a series called Chapter 2.
Don't forget to swing by YouTube and drop us a follow at Official Millennials. You can also find us on Twitter at MillsOfficial. We appreciate all the support, and y'all have a good one.
This is an Official Millennials production.
Official Millennials.
The best millennials of all. Because we're the only ones that are official. Hey, all y'all suck.
You know what? I'm gonna include that in the recording.